Soldier Force by Chap Mei made some pretty impressive vehicles. I was most fervently collecting them in the early to mid-2000s when I was a first and second year at varsity, and they were mainly used to supplement my lack of GI Joe vehicles. I had a Chap Mei helicopter, and that kind of substituted for the Tomahawk for a while until I got a Tomahawk. But these vehicles have a lot going for them, and I think it might be cool to do a showcase of my favorite pieces from the Chap Mei Soldier Force and other toy lines from the early to mid-2000s. There are some gems in this list, guys, so stay tuned all the way to the very end. I believe this is called an M25 Dragon Wagon, a World War II era tank carrier, and it looks pretty accurate to that. To give you an idea of the scale, I'm going to bring in one of the lonely little Dreadnok figures that I have with me. And it does have some features. This ratchets at several positions. The back gate, of course, unlocks, drops down, and goes all the way vertical. Release this cage, and get ready to fire. Inexplicably, the missile itself can be disconnected and made into this stumpy version of itself. I'm not sure why, but you can do it. Of course, what's left does have a sound and light feature, but I removed the batteries a long time ago for fear of corrosion. Good thing I did. These things are like 20 years old now. The vehicle does have a modular design. You can take the missile gantry off, and then you've got a back gate that's down, so you can roll a smaller vehicle up onto it, or use it as a helipad. There's a nifty crane that has some functionality, also a knob which allows you to spool out the line. And then spool it back in when it's not jammed on something. It came with these amazing rubber cargo meshes, perfect for sling loading or just hauling up awkward cargoes. Forward, the details are impressive. You've got steps that get you up into this cage, a functioning missile launcher, we'll have more on those in a moment. Detail everywhere. Soft rubber picking out pieces like this. Another gunnery position, the ring doesn't move, but the gun does elevate and move side to side, and that's perfect. The cab is spacious enough for two figures, large enough in fact that you won't struggle to fit a modern figure in there at all. And it is free rolling. Detaching the cab is a cinch that leaves you with quite a distinctive rig. Beautifully detailed engine, smokestack, armored tub for the occupants. And this section does have a jack stand for itself to stay upright. There's a reason why I brought Ripper to the party, and that's because this, my friends, is the perfect Dreadnok ride. Look at that. Perfect for the O-ring style. I mean, they will disappear into this spacious cab pretty quickly. Yeah, it's got chromed out parts, vicious bumper, these wheels that absolutely take inspiration from Mad Max, pipes, sills, suspension, a little bit of weathering. The main armament is this quad gun with ammo feeds that go directly into these little slots on the drums. Very nice foot pedals. Chromed up headlights. Let's see this thing all the way around. Oh, so nice. Nice little detail back here. There's a tow hitch, but it's a different kind of configuration than what we're used to. Maybe you could get something to fit on there if you have a hook. The wheels are very free rolling. Does a modern figure fit in it? Yes, it does. Ripper much prefers being on the back gun anyway. Yep, the front bumper is detailed and all, but if you don't like it, you can take that sucker off very cleanly. And it's nice to reveal all that chrome back there. What really sweetened the set for me was that it included this guy. Badass Jason looking mask. Okay, the guy only has 5 points of articulation, but he did come with a few excellent secondaries. First up, this red puffer, which is a very, very cool addition, and completes the look quite nicely. But check how cool this is. This snake that can coil under his arm and just fits so snugly. I wouldn't say Serpentor ever had it this good. The pistol is removable, which is not bad at all for a budget inclusion on a budget toy. Next up, let's do an aircraft. The A10, or at least Chap Mei's answer to the A10. With a little bit of a rattler touch. Yes, that is a gun turret, and it does turn. And you're supposed to put an occupant in like this. Man, that is a strange look, my friends. But things aren't all gloom and doom. This bad boy has got functioning, albeit manual, landing gear. That's pretty neat. It also has a nose gun, which has some side-to-side motion. The wheels may be plastic, but they do turn because, yes, they are on screws. Lovely engine intakes. In terms of payload, we've got these orange missiles. They are 2 linked in one hub, but you fire them by pressing that tab. Then you've got these bombs, which also unfortunately are linked, but if you press the button up here, watch what happens. And these are sadly hollow, but they are painted. And they just fit on a dumbbell system. Boom! The cockpit's lovely and spacious, but strangely it looks like this crystal throne. Reason being it had some sounds and lights. Once again, I took the batteries out, but the chair would light up. There's a little bulb right back here. Now these thick boys might prove troublesome. However, a Cobra pilot might just thread the needle. Yes! Mercifully, this top turret is very easily removable. And here is a size comparison with the Rattler. It's a bigger boy, but it is slightly smaller than the Power Team Elite one. I'd say the Chap Mei is 10% larger than a Rattler, and the Power Team Elite version is 10% larger than the Chap Mei. It had a teeth sticker on the nose. I got rid of that because it was just a sticker and it looked a little bit cheap. However, these tampos are very nice. Not bad for a budget toy. Not bad at all. Let's take a quick sidetrack and talk about some of the good stuff that came with Chap Mei. Now, if you got any of these sets, you probably got weapon trees like this. However, way too big for all our guys. But if you happen to be a 6-inch collector, these guns are the perfect scale. You got sledgehammers, backpacks, tools, binoculars, hand grenades. Hand grenades, yes. A submachine gun, more Uzis, telephones. Now that's a mean looking revolver. With a bit of paint, they could be perfect. Or this could be like Destro's carry case for his sales merchandise. Very funky. Yeah, the weapons even had first-rate little add-ons like this rubber strap. Which, come on man, isn't that absolutely perfect? Well, maybe not for our guys, but as I say, for anyone who collects 6-inch or other scales, this is an amazing piece. As mentioned before, one of my favorite accessories that came with these are these cargo nets, perfect for sling loading stuff, but what you need is something to sling load it to. And for that, you have these amazing hooks, which would then hook up to a tomahawk, and then you hook that up to the mesh, or you could make a conceivable basket for a sling load. Anything. This is a brilliant attention to detail and play patterns. Really top notch. The sculpting is good, they even have braiding on the cable. It's made of a very, very sturdy rubber. It's perfect. There's an eye on the one end and a sculpted hook on the bottom. Yeah, you got a good sling load. Now it's time for a real crowd pleaser. The Merkava. Oh, this thing is a behemoth. Okay, non-functioning treads, but that's okay, because look at the underside. It's constructed with this lovely, curved, armored hull. 6 dumb wheels, giving you absolutely zero rollability on grass. But on smoother surfaces, you're happy. And what actually is this weird arrangement with 2 barrels at divergent angles? Weird. I didn't like the fact that it had a hole here, so my ingenuity was to carve out a piece of polystyrene, slap some duct tape all over it, and use that to cover up the hole. But it's an easily accessible driver's position, certainly easier than a mauler, and to get a guy in there, no problem. If this beefcake can go in, anyone can. Look at that, he's down, he's down. Now does my hatch cover him up? Not quite. I'd rather just keep him out and keep it covered, thanks. Now this cable is soft rubber. Very cool. You got that braided sculpting, a little bit of paint wash on it. The details are amazing every which way you look at it. I've left the patina of shelf dust on this thing because it just makes it look like it's been doing some desert maneuvers for the past few weeks. You got a 50 up here on a pintle, you can move it side to side, you can move it up. There was another gun on this mount, I'm not sure which one it was. But the hatches do open realistically enough. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, it's just an undetailed cavity. But this one has a swivel, look at that. Can you get a figure to duck down in there? Well, we'll try. There's a sculpted bogey back here. This basket is very cool, nice inclusion, very detailed. And with this tow cable here, you've got notes of the Mauler or the Wolverine. And this is something they stole from Leonard's core tank, but it does come off the rails really nicely and ratchets up and down. What have we got back here? We've got storage. This hatch has a locking mechanism, and what are these? Yes, this is my favorite feature of all. Slap that back in there. Where's the button? Where's the button? Oh, this tiny little red thing. Here we go. Oh, that's gone forever. Oh man, it closes and then latches, so we're not going to lose anything en route. So once again, that's the Merkava battle tank. This brutal looking cowcatcher in the front has chains everywhere, nice and rubbery, so you're not going to break them. But this thing, holy crap. Let's get a figure in that hatch. Is that as good as it's going to get? Maybe. Let's see if I can scoot him down. Oh, yes, I can tell you, the Viper can get all the way down. He's kind of lying down in there, but yes. Goodbye, we are buttoned up and ready to go. Well, let's see where that missile went to. Oh man, we are lucky that it's in this bright tracer color. Very accurate actually. Now this had a red bulb, it doesn't work anymore. Unfortunately, I don't think there's an easy way into it. There's no clip system. Underneath it, there's no single screw to release the top. I think I would have to take the turret off and separate it that way. turret does do a full 360 degrees, but we'll run into a little snag. The damn aerial. But yes, it does go all the way around. Now for the moment most of you have been waiting for, the Osprey! Please note this is a custom paint job. Plus, I've gutted a lot of the additional extras, the electronics, extraneous things, like it did not come in this Battleship Grey. Initially it was a kind of a white, grey, and black camouflage scheme. It had a carry handle over there, which I took out when I separated it to paint it. Also, this thing was mounted to a stub wing down here, but I thought it's a bit much. I mean, this isn't a gunship in my mind. If you know anything about the Osprey, you know that they're extremely vulnerable aircraft. So I wasn't likely going to put it in the front lines where it could do damage with a big cannon anyway. Now let's take a look inside. The cockpit certainly is spacious enough for our thick boy over here. I did a bit of extra paint detail on the seats. Pardon, it is very, very crude, but I was a younger man back then. There is no glass in the windows, which is a bit of a shame, but that's just par for the course when it comes to these large-scale toys. They cut costs where they could. The main feature of the Osprey obviously is going to be these amazing rotating blades, and not only that, they can be vertical for takeoff, and then once you're in full flight, you can move them forward, and then you've got ratchets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you're in full forward mode. As you'd expect with carrier operations, the Osprey can swivel. You can gather the blades and then swing the whole affair around for easy storage. The back gate was far too narrow for, say, a Stinger, but flip this tab open and it is able to accommodate a mini tank. I mean, it is a little bit smaller, a little bit slimmer, and that's going to be the maximum dimension of what you can put in there. Maybe a ferret would go inside, but you're not going to be able to get the Stinger in. Yeah, plenty of space in there for lots and lots of guys. I hadn't realized it up until right now, but the carry handle says SF V22, which would mean Soldier Force V22, as in V22 Osprey. I don't think these things are licensed, but they are treading dangerously close, if not overstepping the lines of legality. Thanks a lot, China. And this little thing ain't bad either. A little quad AA gun. Really able to give the Armadillo a run for its money. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little march down memory lane with Chap Mei and me. I'd like to thank me of 20 years ago for buying up these things when they were plentiful and cheap. Because, dare I say it, if you are in the market for them now, I hope you find a deal. I don't know if eBay will be your friend, because they are prohibitively priced. Thanks for watching, everyone, and yo, Joe! Berg!